Okay, so hello everybody. Welcome to our first live session, part of the Eventex B2B Match 2024. We are very happy to start our live session with our first guest speaker for the day, Sujoy Cherian. He is going to talk today all things about technology in the event industry and of course AI. We cannot go without speaking about AI.
I guess everybody can hear me. Give me a thumbs up, and we will definitely open the microphones for a Q&A session towards the end. Although we have just 20 minutes, I've tried my best to put what I can. So first of all, greetings to everybody, the global community of our industry, different time zones. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and I'm sure you're gonna love this session. I've tried my best to include uh, current trending tech, and of course, the latter half of the presentation is focused on AI and my futuristic vision as to where this would take us and the industry in the next decade. And a big shout out to Eventex team for this invitation and putting together these kind of events, the awards, and the associated events for the community. So let's dive straight in. So here we are in a century that has given us exposure to some crazy innovations and very quick adaptation, especially in our industry. The way it has rapidly changed in the last 2 decades. It's been almost half a century that we've been seeing things evolve in a very linear format. I'm talking about content. When it comes to content, we've been hearing about VR for years and years at stretch. The only evolution that happened was when movie cinemas moved from audiovisual experiences to adding the element of 3D, and which died off very quickly. But what we've seen in the recent years is transformational because everything that we do is all about content in today's world. And content is not just the king anymore. Content interaction, content engagement, and a high level of content retention is what really matters. So so let's talk about how this happens. It's today's world with software and technology and APIs that helps us bridge the gap between all of these engagement protocols as well as displays and technology to make them all speak together and create a very personalized end user experience. And that's the direction we're going in. For years, we've just been consuming content in a very passive format where we watch, we listen, and we take back. The the consumption of the content is very restricted to how much the person has consumed and retained. While if you want to cross the line between passive content consumption to active content consumption, you have to tap more than just two senses, which is audio and visual. There has to be an element of touch, feel, taste, and something to engage with for your content to be then consumed to a level where it has life beyond just the display. And that's what tech is doing for us today. So I'll talk about a few of the technologies that have really been transformed in the last couple of years, and we're seeing very rapid evolution. It's a whole new level of having, the flexibility of displays rather than just projection and standard LED screens, which is now giving the possibility of changing the shapes and surfaces of content, making it interactive and adding a lot more engagement tools to transform the experience for the end user. And obviously for the brands and our clients who want to do something which in the end is an event that has to have life beyond that particular day or period. So I'll talk about three things which have caught my eye when it comes to the standard displays being evolved. It's been over a decade I've been working with flat screen formats, which is OLED transparent, but it always had the size restriction within maximum of 55, 65 inch. With that kind of interactivity, also it transformed the game, creating this Minority Report kind of experience where you could create these unique transparent gesture-based controls or use it within displays to reveal things behind the glass. There's so much that could be done with it. But in this year, we've seen the evolution of glass LEDs. You have micro LEDs that have come out with some major brands that are giving you the flexibility that can scale a lot higher resolution, a lot higher brightness. And then obviously, the biggest thing is the modularity of the product, which gives you the possibility to configure different shapes and larger surfaces. Then comes the transformation of glass LEDs, which are again LED mesh sandwiched between glass panels, which gives you the flexibility now of having so much more that you can do with glass. I will show you a short video on that.
Introducing the ODS Smart Glass, a game-changing innovation from Option One Group's Tech Integration Division, ODS Labs. This groundbreaking product features LED embedded within the glass, allowing for customizable OEM designs and boasting IP-rated durability. But that's not all. We also offer a transparent LED mesh that can be seamlessly added to any glass surface. With high-definition visuals and exceptional contrast, the ODS Smart Glass maintains remarkable transparency and a sleek, frameless design. Installation is tailored to your specific needs, ensuring a perfect fit. Our LED grille display is not only 80% transparent, but also remarkably easy to install, with minimal power consumption. Plus, it's backed by IP-rated durability and can be customized to meet your unique requirements. Experience the future of glass technology with the ODS Smart Glass, where innovation meets transparency, contrast, and efficiency. Choose ODS Labs for your innovative tech solutions today.
So what you saw here is the whole new possibility in terms of transforming glass facades, not just indoor, but as well as outdoor. And this is going to be a game changer. I see a major transformation that will happen in the next few years, where nobody would opt for glass anymore, because now you have the option of having the transparency and then playing content as well as engagement. And then where AI will take that is at a whole new level, which I'll talk later in my slides. Next is the unusual formats. Of course, there's been such a lot of holograms in the industry, which have been evolving over time. But there are a few brands that have really cracked the code in terms of brightness and frame rates and the required quality that you would want in a product that gives the end user an experience which is absolutely mesmerizing. So LED blades have been transformed in several ways. It's about using the technology in a way that transforms the experience. It's not always a tech that has to be evolved. It's also us as the creators in the industry to put together technology to create these unique experiences. Like the video that you see on the left is creating several blades in a line which was originally conceptualized by Tunra, which was a very creative project done in Japan, where they used several blades, creating this depth of field which was never been seen before. Then also when it comes to spheres, it's always been projection. It was always a compromised experience. Now we're talking about OEM LED manufacturers that can customize LEDs in globe format, in sphere format, at any size, right up to what you see right now in Vegas, which is humongous. It's the largest sphere in the world, and that's something you have to see with your own eyes to actually believe what that experience is like. For that scale and that magnitude, it cannot be covered. Although I've got an episode on my YouTube channel, but it really doesn't justify. You have to be there to experience what tech has done. And then last but not the least, my favorite toy, which is volumetric displays. Volumetric has really been neglected for a long time. I was hoping it evolves, and then eventually here what it has reached is at a level which was far beyond my expectation in terms of what you're seeing right now, like the IVR experience. So in IVR, it's interactive volumetric reality. It gives you the flexibility of having scale on the X, Y, and Z axis, having controls with using third-party hardware and engaging with volumetric content in real time. There's some very interesting projects lined up later this year with real-time content and, of course, AI integration. I'll show you a small clip to understand what volumetric displays look like in different configurations. there are a small clip. You can definitely get online and learn more about the Dragonno volumetric displays. This has been used with so many interactive mediums. It has been scaled to different sizes: cylindrical, cubical, linear, rigged, standing, and we've integrated with motion sensors, proximity sensors, body suits having avatars being tracked in real time, and so much more. But when it comes to the integration of mixed media, I think there's so much more that's in the market that could be used hand in glove with tech like this. Like there's a lot of demand now for dynamic content in motion. So it always has been a head turner when content is displayed through technology that gives some dynamic motion, right? It's always going to be the merge with robotics or proximity sensors, body trackers, mechatronics that changes the way the display reacts, which then triggers obviously a head turner, which people want to look at and then engage. Like you can see here, it's all about mechatronics. At the bottom left is a screen by Spectrum, which does the motion with 25 centimeter tiles, creating these 3D objects coming out with the content. So it's not just 3D content, it's also the screen itself that takes shape. And then motion sensors, again, an installation by Liva for QVision. This was again using motion sensors to use it as a portal to interact with the content rather than just watch it or playing or fly through with a game console. So a lot of these are game changers when it comes to using trackers and stuff. And now with the new evolution, we're talking about 15 years of the transition between 3D, VR, AR. All of these were working individually in their own evolution. Then came mixed reality. We are right now in a world where consumers can afford to buy and have spatial computing options. But that again is evolving. Over the next few years, you're going to see regular glasses, which are something you can put in your pocket, like a pair of Ray-Bans or an Oakley, with AR built in to these devices, because you want devices like this with your audience in their pocket when they come to an event. Nobody's going to walk in with a headset this bulky at an event. But imagine if you had just a small pair of glasses or your regular reading glasses, which had a simple tap and it transforms into an AR glass. That would be a game changer, and that's where the industry is heading towards. There are so many brands I've been seeing in R&D that have propose some very interesting products. I think the biggest challenge right now is the battery that would power these devices that have to be small and light. That's why the devices today in the market, like the Vision Pro and the Meta Quest 3, which are in the top of the range when it comes to mixed reality experiences and spatial computing, will eventually get smaller and shrink down to simple devices, which could be pocketed by anyone and then taken to an event. And that's where we will be able to add a whole new level of an experience that's customized. And how AI will do that, I'll let you know in a couple of slides. And it's very obvious from Clarify to IBM, Google, Amazon, Microsoft with their OpenAI. You see that direction. You're seeing that major evolution. Every major tech company is now heading towards that, but everybody is thinking about only the consumer and consumer level AI. There's so much that could be done at enterprise level, which could be, a big game changer when it comes to processing data and personalizing the experience. Everybody is concerned about, how would it, take care of the security and privacy, etc. Those are things that we will deal with, just like we dealt with the transformation of the analog era that switched into digital, right? We were concerned about security even back then when the internet opened up. So it's all about the pros and cons that come with every industrial revolution, and that's what's happening right now with AI. There are so many platforms out there other than the most famous, of course, being ChatGPT, and the highest adoption of technology that's ever happened at a global scale has been ChatGPT. But then there's brands like Largo AI, which accelerates content creation with AI-powered insights, which means you put in your script for a piece of content or a film or a production, and this would then process it based on your audience and demographics, on all the information that you'd feed in. Largo AI would tell you if your content could be successful and what could be the conversion rate. And some of the tests I've done with Largo has been amazing on content that has already been released. So I could do a comparison to really understand what it has assumed as a forecast using data processing, and what was the actual result. It was just a 10-15% variation. Vortosis, for example, is a voice-based analytics which enhance performances to understand how you'd optimize content in real time using AI, hearing the response of the person you're engaging with. And how cool is that? Because that's being processed on the back end. The person is not really needing to engage, but you're using it as a tool in the industry. Same thing with the integration of OpenAI. Everybody is using it right now with a chat GPT as a conversational tool, but there's so much more that can be done with it. We have so many, even within the nation. We are based in UAE. There's Abu Dhabi has launched AI 71, which is completely focused at enterprise level, supporting legal, government, and education. And the same thing is eventually going to happen in events. So where is AI today? We're talking about it as AI. But this has started way back in time. In fact, the term artificial intelligence was coined back in 1956 at the Dartmouth conference, 1956. And this was a transformational moment because ever since then, they got into the early language processing computer programs, which eventually evolved by the 1960s. And then it was the 1970s where we started to hear about NLPs, you know. So natural language processing is not something that happened in the last 10 years. This is a topic in discussion and in research and development since the 1970s. And it's only in the 2000s up to 2010 where we saw the rise of machine learning and neural networks. And it was but obvious not because the solution was not in place, it was the infrastructure that was not in place because we didn't have the computing power, we didn't have chipsets, there was no major focus in evolving parallelly these industries. And that's what has facilitated today's growth. And that's why we're seeing this breakthrough in 2020. So you can see that major jump has been in 2020. But then if you see the rapid transformation between 2020 until today, we are in the center somewhere between AI and AGI. Artificial general intelligence is going to take everything to the next level. And it would be something so phenomenal, be part of our everyday life. And what goes with it is, without saying, every industry is going to adopt. But then where we are with ASI is no idea right now. Nobody can even predict that because it really depends how things progress. Because when we talk about ASI, it's artificial super intelligence, which means we would be, far inferior to the knowledge of one super computer that has the computing power of billion minds put together. But that's for another complete presentation by itself. So coming back to the event tech and how AI is integrated. For example, here's a volumetric suggestion of how you could introduce avatars within a display, gives you a realistic engagement, puts a face to the AI, and helps you engage and ask questions. You can always add filters with an open source, still limiting your AI from restricting speaking on certain topics, subjects, political, religious, etc. at your event to filter the content, or have a closed source solution which is all predefined with a local server. So when it comes to integration, again, the surface and the display doesn't matter. You use an eye-catchy display to basically put your avatar, to put your object that represents the AI, to let people engage, but make it very personalized. So when it comes to integration, there is so much that could be done in having multiple layers of content displays that eventually work with one central AI to create these unique experiences, for motion capture, sensors, etc., that react in real time with the person engaging. So where are we heading? What's next? What do we prepare for? We don't want to be the BlackBerry of the industry, either of us, right? We need to embrace evolution and embrace the innovation and start to adopt where we can, start and learn, because AI is here to stay and it's not leaving us for sure. And our industry has to adopt. So when it comes to inducing AI into technologies, there's so much that can be done because it's all about captivating consumers, tapping onto more senses, and then making it more personal and a secure experience, which means there's one major bridge that has to happen, which I feel is going to happen very soon. Because when it comes to content consumption, right now, everybody's major fear is how personalized is my content based on how much me giving out as information to the consumer. Like we're all right now concerned about what Google is collecting or what devices are collecting based on the information you give out, because you're signing an agreement, terms and conditions that allows them to use your information. So what would happen here? What's that gap? And from my point of view, I think it's edge AI. So edge AI is basically AI on device. So it's on device AI that does not depend on cloud-based data points and provides added security with personalized experiences. So this will open a whole new level of possibilities when it comes to the entertainment sector and events. Now imagine AI based within your device, and you don't have to give out your information to some cloud where your data is being used by several people somewhere else. It's your data, it's your information, it's your personalized content on your device. From my point of view, I think iPhone is going to be the one that releases that within their device. And Edge AI would probably be on the next version, or hopefully in some of the products coming up soon, and then everybody will follow suit. But it is about having your content customized and personalized within your device, which means you have complete control of what you are letting your device do. But now your device helps us create these unique experiences within events. Imagine, you have no limitation with the number of people within an event that could have personalized content specifically to them. And that would be a game changer, because in the end, now your customer is not talking to the consumer individually, but not grouped by sector, by group X to X, X to Y, and having certain kind of content that just focuses to those people. You could now customize it, and you could have automation, which is built in through AI, and then have a whole new level of efficiency. Increased efficiency means reduced errors, save time, save money. And that's what we want to do. And that's what our customers want. Everybody wants more for less. And I think we've been facing this in our industry forever, right? So we need to use these tools. So it's not here to take away jobs. In fact, it's going to help us evolve and scale up the bar when it comes to a work-life balance, using the hours in hand to produce, unique content, but then you're letting AI do the rest of the work, So data-driven decisions, making the process so much more efficient, enhancing experiences for the individuals, which is definitely what everybody wants to do. Yeah. So I think predictive analysis, analyze historical data through viewer interaction with real-time auto scheduling could be something that could be done within festivals, for example, on your screens, etc., with based on the time of day, depending the number of people that are at the event, automatically, changing schedules and then having that in real time. Right now, we're doing all of this manually, right? Targeted content could increase, relevance at the right time, at the right place. The right people are getting engaged with content that's personalized. Obviously, high retention rate. Your content now is being consumed at a level where you're speaking to people specifically. Who has done this breakthrough? Google and Facebook, Meta, etc. What have they done? Why are they where they are today? Is because they did personalized content for all us consumers through digital media, which is through social media. Now imagine if that could be taken to events where it's personalized through tech and experiences. So this continual improvement in content strategy and viewer engagement is definitely going to be a big game changer. I think in AI personalization with real-time curated content, you could take it to a whole new level for the user's interaction and basically facilitating user action, because you could anticipate the need based on Edge AI. Edge AI will have information on, for example, what were your previous purchases, what were your earlier likes. Everything is personalized. It's a device that would be learning about you on the go, but it's only with you. No one else knows about it. So it anticipates your emotions, your response. It prevents it's preemptively enhancing the viewer satisfaction, right? Because you're seeing what you want. And imagine if this is integrated now with in-pocket mixed reality glasses. You're walking around events and you're seeing stuff that you need to see, which is very personalized to you, but no one else can see it. So there's a big privacy issue that is then taken care of. Because imagine if you're looking at a display, rather than a celebrity there, you have your face with that product at the event on your face, and you could say, okay, that's a nice pair of shades and I look cool in it because that's you being mapped. But it's not 1,000 people seeing that display, because each one looking at the screen is seeing themselves in the screen with a product mapped onto them, because you're seeing this through mixed reality, right? So that becomes a very personalized experience, and which means instant purchase and shipping. So I'm at an event, I'm not going there to try something, I just tap on my watch, pay, for example, on my device, and after I finish the event, I've reached home, I've got a product already there for me, right? How cool would that experience be? So, so with advanced haptic feedback, having this intuitive voice and enhanced experiences for the consumers at events, this is where I see the events industry going towards. And that kind of integration is so important when it comes to the personalized experience. Of course, and Edge AI would be the big bridge to put that together. So even sensory displays, I think in the future, there would be a lot of evolution. You don't just see it, but you can feel it. You can actually start to feel screens. You can start to see, because with nanotechnology and with the evolution of mechatronics, there would be eventually the flexibility of giving you a sense of feel. So having AI stylists, for example, giving you guidance on your style and what that brand could offer you that meets your expectation and personalized experience, you know. So and last but not the least, obviously, is the energy efficiency. We do such a lot of events and we don't talk about sustainability. Everybody talks about it, but it's just a namesake thing done on paper for major events, as I see. But I think with AI, we could have smarter energy management. We can have predictive maintenance for long-term festivals or events like expos that you have months of operating days, and you want to optimize content brightness and the power consumption, the shutdown time, etc., which could be done in a lot better way using AI, because the AI would still keep communicating to all these multiple devices that are controlling content and the hardware and the software that would eventually control it automatically. So usage patterns, environmental factors could be considered to optimize the performance. It's a very tedious task to do this manually. So predictive maintenance would also reduce downtime and energy wastage, right? Because always that's when the issue strikes on long-term events that have gear running. So yeah, so I think I'm running out of time and I'm close to my last slide. We can jump into Q&A. I definitely think it's you know, with the power of AI, we're stepping into a future of events and transformational experiences which could blend innovation with sustainability and personalization. So if there are any questions you want to ask, we can open the mics now and Rashni do that for you. If you want to learn more from the tech that I've presented right now, do visit my channel on YouTube. There's a lot of episodes, very short clips, because I know, again, people never have the time to watch long plays. We do have long plays and short plays. There's a major tech lineup over the last 2 years from all the recent events I've attended. So do subscribe and check out the channel and drop in your queries, comments there. And yeah, the floor is open for questions.
Well, thank you, Sujoy. It was an amazing presentation, and all the examples that you just showed us were simply mesmerizing. Of course, AI is such an interesting but still a very controversial topic, in my opinion, because there are still a lot of people who maybe fear the use of technology and AI. But I'm sure
Yeah.
that you just shed some light on that topic. And yeah, I just hope everyone is much more familiar with what AI can help us do and how we can elevate our events. So yeah, if there are any
Yes.
questions, you can just simply type them in the chat box. I see there is one raised hand by Rumiana. So yeah, we'll be happy to have your questions. Actually, I had one question, but I think you pretty much answered it. My question was how would AI help with the personalization of events, but I guess that's how AGI will do it, will do that. And does that mean that
Yeah, I think
AGI
personal
will,
events would at the very recent I think update would be AGI.
yeah,
So when AGI comes into play and everybody has it on, because today we already know everybody has a smartphone. I don't think there's
yeah,
anyone who doesn't have a smartphone on them. And AGI is a solution that can work on devices locally. It doesn't depend on connecting to the cloud and,
yeah.
you know, you giving out data, which that would be transformational. And I think that's what I'm waiting for. We've been doing a lot of research on personalizing experiences, and that would be a game changer.
Yeah, and that means that AGI will minimize the data sharing of all the event participants,
Yes.
which is great.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any questions for Sujoy and his presentation? Okay, we have one more question. Well, Jessica would like to know how the EDGE system will help personalize content on event displays, and if it's only on our personal devices.
Yeah, so right now there are two aspects which are already existent. One is using iBeacons and using technologies that define your proximity to a particular display. So within an event, everybody who say downloads the event app, which now the organizers ask you for permission to let the event floor tag your information and send it back to these iBeacons, which eventually give you push notifications of what's happening within the event, right? That's what has been happening for you know, close to half a decade already. But now when it comes to personalized experiences through Edge, what happens with Edge is your personal information is on your device. Using Edge AI, it's constantly learning. And much through the machine learning, eventually it gets better and better on knowing you, just like Siri today, or other platforms which improve as and when they communicate with you. So through Edge AI, what will happen is Edge AI would be that bridge to create a portal of communication between your device and displays. So it's not just the phone itself. It's your devices right now being used as a portal which you would define what information should be given or not. And then provided you allow your device to communicate, it would not give out the information, but it would trigger an experience. For example, if I walked up to a screen, if my device is identified, it's only going to make sure that the screen shows me content that's interesting to me or the language of my preference. If I walk up to a screen that's actually playing English content, but I speak French or I speak Arabic, it transforms in real time to show me content that is legible to me, or it shows me brands or products that are of my interest. So that's the level of personalization where your device will keep your information personal, but trigger content onto the screens using cross-platform integrations and using APIs that pull information but not your data and triggers displays to give you this personal experience. I hope that answers the question.
Okay, great. So any other questions? Come on, it is your last chance to ask Sujoy. One more thing, all the presentations from the live sessions will be uploaded on our website next week, so you'll get the chance to review all the information and you have access to that. So, okay, if there
Yeah,
are
absolutely.
other questions.
Drop me a line. You can always have questions. Okay, I have one more here, I think. What's this?
Oh, okay, perfect.
AI is all about data in events. We need to collect the data from the attendees, and that is the hardest thing. Any clue on how we can gather the data now? So the thing is, in the end, it's about a give and take, right? Like all of us, you're willing to give out information if it's very clearly communicated what is my data being used for, right? Right now, the way I would say in general, a major percentage of event organizers, okay, there's a form or there's an iPad or there's a link that is sent to you asking for information and agree to terms and conditions, right? If we get more personalized with that onboarding process where using tech, we allow people to have absolute clarity what is your information being used for and have that level of filtering where I want my data to be used for everything or extremely specific to what the experience is being delivered at that particular event. So through digital platforms, it's always good to then customize that level of engagement for capturing people's information. Now with Edge AI, that would be a game changer because now depending on what the person selects, you'd always have the option for your device to only give out restricted information. Just like, for example, you have right now the option within the Apple ecosystem, where every time you register on a platform, it does not only just create the password, it also creates a dummy email ID to help you filter what information comes back to your mailbox. So your email ID is never given out, but you always get the information that you wanted, right? So that level of personalization can happen, but it's all about us being absolutely clear with our consumers, with our event visitors, what is your content being used for. Soon as we start to make the consumer confident and secure, and we stop doing data sales, because that's what's happening majorly in the industry, and that's what some of the people are ruining. Because you collect data, you have a lot of information, and then people sell data for money, right? And that's again, it's about ethics. It's about us making sure that the content and the data that we capture is then used in an ethical manner based on what you've agreed with the ethical terms and conditions that you've signed and accepted. So through the digital process right now, I think it's already possible to create a very unique experience in communicating what is the give and take. If I'm asking you for information, what am I getting back for it? And what of that information that I'm getting back could I choose to have or no? So there's always multiple options, not just, okay, terms and conditions agree, and proceed with giving your information. As soon as I'm given that choice, it gives me more clarity. So I think it's all about giving clarity to the consumers.
Okay, we have one more question, I guess. And I think that will be the last one because we are running a little bit out of time for today. So the question is, how technology will transform in the next 10 years?
So the transformation of technology in the next 10 years, like the latter part of my slides were about displays going to the next level of personalized experiences. So using the cross-platform integration that we're seeing rapidly now evolving in our industry, where different brands are opening up to allowing cross-platform integration. Earlier, every brand was trying to stay within their ecosystem. Everybody wanted to be an Apple, but not everybody can do it in that format, right? And things are changing. And you're seeing eventually guidelines being set even by governments. For example, for the first time ever, Apple had to switch over from Lightning to USB-C, right? Again, that was a whole movement just to reduce the wastage of cables in Europe. So, but that was a big step. So it's the same thing with major brands. Earlier, they tried to stay within the ecosystem, forcing you to buy their display and their controller and their, hardware ecosystem. That's being changed completely. Now, we as AV specialists in the industry are not investing in brands that don't allow, cross-platform integration, because that's the first question, because there's no event that wants to stay within one brand ecosystem. So that's going to be the major evolution, where all brands are now going into subscription formats for softwares and services. And then the hardware is going into this whole new genre of SDKs, which allows cross-platform communication and integration to create these personalized experiences. And then last but not the least, the transformational step would be the integration of AI on the back end. On the front end is going to be very easy, because it's all about using readily available open source, open AI that will help engagement as an experience. But data-driven insights, taking into consideration energy efficiency, taking into consideration, personalized experiences, that's going to be the major game changer. And those who don't offer personalized experiences for longer life of content consumption are not going to survive the market.
Okay, well, I hope that answers that question. So, Sujoy, thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. Thank you for being our guest speaker for today and for opening the
Pleasure was mine indeed.
first day and our live sessions. So everybody else, don't forget that we have a wonderful lineup of other guest speakers and topics that we'll present later today and also tomorrow. And one more thing, don't forget that you can still book meetings with other potential partners during today and tomorrow in the event platform. So yeah, make sure to do that. So yeah, thank
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
once again.
I'll
Have
do
a
one-on-one with anybody
wonderful
interested.
day. Yeah.
Great. Everybody,
Thank you,
have an
Sujoy.
amazing rest of the day, evening, night, wherever you are. All right, signing out.
Thank you. Bye-bye.